Bernard Griffin Senior Park. From Truxton, I live in Truxton, but I just wanted to come out here and say a few things while I'm out here in this beautiful park. You see, behind me they have a place for the young kids to come and the traditional swings out here. And over in the far corner, they have a horseshoe pit. And then, of course, you have the basketball goals over there behind me, where I used to come out here and play a long time ago. But how's everybody doing? I appreciate you all joining me today here on the Slim Nation. And I'm just going to sit down a little bit here. And you see I have on, I guess it's backwards, but my hat says proud, bench proud. And it has my basketball number 52, which I wore when I played basketball at IC Northam. And but anyway, I'm here to make sure that people are really not discouraged by things that are going on today nationally with the administration, all the things that we have to put up with every day, and make sure people realize that we still can have the power. We still can have the power in our vote and in our participation, and locally, especially locally. I live here in the city of Portsmouth, Virginia, and Virginia was in the news for a while there when they, they did a redistricting thing, and the courts shot it down. Supreme Court shot it down. The state Supreme Court shot it down after the citizens voted on that's what they wanted. But that's another story. But anyway, locally here in the city of Portsmouth, we need to start gearing up. The election season is coming up soon. After the summer, it'll kick off. With me, the election season starts soon as people's candidates start declaring their candidacy and filing their paperwork. Now, the deadline is somewhere mid-June, maybe the 14th or 15th, where we'll know everybody who's running here in the city of Portsmouth. And I'm sure it's going to be the same locally throughout the United States, throughout the country, in the city where you live, or in the state where you live. So it's going to be a big time to get out and make sure you exercise your right to vote. And don't be discouraged by the things that's going on, by the efforts to suppress our votes, to redistrict us out of our voting power. Still go to the polls and vote, and make sure you vote for the right person. Make sure that you're informed enough on the candidates, because we need to put people in there where they don't get hung up about the politics of it all, and make sure that we do the right thing. And I'm gonna walk around a little bit in this park a little bit, because it's just such a nice day, and a nice day to be in the park. Sometimes I like to do this, come out and relax my mind. There's so much going on. I just left a meeting, but the meeting was pleasant. It was a pleasant meeting. The group was called Church and Community in Action, a place I haven't been to in a while. So I decided to come out and sort of, and you can see in the background here how full this park is for the Mount Hermon community. And it's a city park, so it's for anybody that wants to come out, but basically for the people that live in Mount Hermon can come out. There's picnic tables and grills, permanent grills they have set out here, but I guess you can bring your grills, and you might have to to make sure and I see a sheriff department probably delivering Meals on Wheels. And that's another thing out here to a resident. It's another thing that the sheriff department does here in the city of Portsmouth. We have the sheriff department, which is a state department, and we also have the city police department. Many counties and cities operate with the sheriff department as the lead uh, law enforcement agency. But here we have two, and they have very different roles that they play, significant roles. And the sheriff department also manages the jails, and they serve warrants and do a lot of other things, like what I'm seeing now, deliver meals to the elderly. They cut grass for the elderly once you sign up and say you need your grass cut. So they perform a lot of services, and they direct traffic at funerals, something the Portsmouth Police Department used to do, but this frees them up to do the job that they're supposed to do. But anyway, before I go off on this little live show, I just want to bring it up again. Make sure you go out there and make sure you inform yourself on what's going on in your locality, in your city, as well as the country when the midterms come. But you hear a lot of talk about the midterms, but there's a lot of things going on locally. You want to be sure that you're informed enough to make sure you put the right people in those positions locally, because what decisions they make directly affect you and your household, and your taxes, your local taxes, and everything. So make sure you do your due diligence in keeping up with what's going on in your city. I just want to walk over here to this horseshoe pit and see if this thing will turn around for me. Walking over here to the horseshoe pit. Again, we're here at the Bernard Griffin Senior Park. It's named after a former educator and former city councilman who was also vice mayor and mayor. But this is the neighborhood he grew up in. So they end up naming the park after him, even though the park has been here forever. I can remember playing here, like I mentioned earlier, baseball, but basketball rather. But here are the pits, the horseshoe pits, where they actually have tournaments out here. So you have to kind of know what you're doing when you come out here. These are serious pits. It's not your everyday pit that you might dig up in your backyard. This is set up for tournaments and competition. And so it also lets you know it's an supervised area. Play at your own risk. So they give you that warning. So don't come out here and get too wild. You might break a leg or hurt yourself in any kind of way. Isn't this a beautiful park? Something for everybody. All these benches, all this space out here. You can bring your children out here in the afternoon with the big shade trees. You know, even during the middle of the day, under these big shade trees that are out here, that's been out here forever, gives you the shade to be able to relax and enjoy. And right today is a nice cool breeze out here. And I walk up here to the basketball goals, which have been modernized, revised, fixed up. They weren't like this when we were coming out here and play. You know, back in the day, we would different communities would go around to different areas and challenge the guys in the neighborhood to a friendly game of basketball. Sometimes it got a little heated, but most of the time it was just good playing competition and fun. So they have like professional court out here, and this is outside. And you see they have benches. I'm sure they have a organized competition out here as well. So all this is good. All this is good. So I'm showing you this to let you know this is part of some of the things that you vote for, that your tax money pays for, these city parks. And if you have the right people in office, you're able to get things like this or advocate for things like this. They just don't go in the office and say, how can I do this? They depend on you as the voters or the citizens to let them know what you want. So when issues come up, they'll know how to vote. If you don't tell them, they go with whatever information they have. And it's not always a bad information, but it might not necessarily serve the community like you may want it to do, unless you speak up to your representative and say, no, I think I'd rather have a park there. This beautiful park you just saw, it could have been an open space for a developer to come in here and put more houses. But no, I'm sure the citizens let it be known that they did not want that to happen. I don't know if that issue came up, but those issues come up a lot in situations where developers come, especially if the park or the designated area it goes down and it's not well maintained. And then that's when the developers come in and say, well, you all not doing anything with that. How about changing the zoning and let us come in here and build some houses? But you definitely don't want this piece of property to be anything but what it is, a community park, a park for the citizens in the community and people throughout the city of Portsmouth. Other communities have similar parks like this that are larger, smaller, but they serve the purpose. And these are some of the things that you can have control over with, as long as you keep up and educate yourself about what's going on in your city and how you can be a part of making things happen in your best interests. So this is Slim Overton and signing off and just saying, make sure you just keep up with what's going on. I can't say it enough, and maybe I said it too much. So it's time to go. Take care, and we'll see you next time.